Hello, I'm Dango Rose. Welcome to the Mountaineer Podcast, where everybody's listening. The Mountaineer brings you the latest news of the Peak to Peak region, in print, online, through our podcast, social media, and special publications. Now, listen in to the latest news of the area with our local journalists. Hello, I'm Dango Rose, and this is the Mountaineer Podcast, where everybody's listening.
And I'm Cynthia Davis. In this week's episode, we visit with the folks at Tin Shed Sports in Nederland. They offer some sound advice on getting ready to ride while waiting for the winter snow to melt.
We hear this week's music mentions from Jamie Lammers, and special correspondent Marianne Rosen will share a springtime story in defense of dandelions. We then catch up with Arwen Eck, director of the Holistic Homestead. She talks about the nonprofit organization and their dedication to health and wellness for mountain folk all across Gilpin County.
And for our final segment, Dango interviews Macon Terringer with the River Arkansas. They will be playing the Caribou Room this weekend along with Fox Feather.
But first, some news from your neighborhood.
The Gilpin County Slash site will be open for season Wednesday, April 26th. All Gilpin County residents participating in fire mitigation will be able to use the Slash site at no charge, but will need to provide proof of residency.
Coming soon to the Nederland Middle Senior High School Auditorium is the school performance of the classic musical Footloose, based on the original screenplay by Dean Pitchford and directed by Elizabeth Evans. Performances are scheduled from April 13th through April 22nd, and tickets are on sale now. Visit the NMSH website for more information at neh.bvsd.org.
Stargazers and night sky watchers pick up a copy of this week's newspaper to read Nederland Night Skies, authored by Frank Sanders. Find out dates and times to see the upcoming meteor shower, the pink moon, and the best days to see a particularly enticing spring sunrise and sunset.
Voting is wrapping up for the Peak to Peak Youth Art Show. Be sure to visit our website or Facebook page for more information on how to cast your vote for the People's Choice Award. Winners will be announced in this week's edition of the Mountaineer newspaper.
Read more local news and feature stories in print and online at themountaineer.com.
And that's it for this week's news briefs. If you have something to share, you can send requests for submission to info@themountaineer.com. As long as it meets our community standards, we'll be sure to include it in a future episode. Brightwood Music has been serving the Peak to Peak region and beyond since opening in 2008. The full-service music store offers new and used instruments and will even repair the ones you've got. Go ahead and check them out on Facebook at Brightwood Music. Brightwood Music is the best music store with altitude across the Peak to Peak.
For our lead story, we speak to Eric, manager of Tin Shed Sports. Eric, can you introduce yourself to our listeners?
This is Eric Moresco. I am the manager at Tin Shed Sports in Nederland, Colorado.
And Eric, with the snow still on the ground, do you have any predictions on when the trails might be open?
I was just walking the dogs in West Mag yesterday, and we're probably about a month out before those lower trails get fully melted out.
So what kind of things can people start doing now to get ready to ride?
Well, big thing is just, get your bike in the winter or now to get it prepped for the season, because once everything turns nice, then everyone starts thinking about their bikes and everyone brings their bikes in at the same time. And then it goes from a 2-3 day turnaround at most shops to 2-3 weeks. We do try and keep that 3-day turnaround kind of year round, though.
So how about some last words of advice for anyone getting ready to get out there?
I mean, just kind of being prepared for the season. So the acronym, like a bunch of P's, proper preparation prevents piss poor performance, is a great way to kind of approach a lot of things. Is just kind of be ready for what you want to do. Don't jump at it without kind of getting all your ducks in a row.
Thank you, Eric. And for all of those in need of more expert advice or services from Tin Shed Sports, be sure to stop in. They are located in downtown Nederland. You can find more information about Tin Shed Sports by visiting them online at tinshedsports.com.
Now we go to correspondent Jamie Lammers, who will be delivering this week's Music Mentions.
And now for this week's Music Mentions. Head to Busey Brews, located at 70 East 1st Street in Nederland, to check out Derek Dame's Old performing live on Sunday, April 16th at 2 p.m. Head to 32138 Highway 72 in Coal Creek Canyon, where the Canyon Tavern is located, to check out a karaoke night on Friday, April 14th at 6 p.m. and to see Derek Hall performing live on Saturday, April 15th at 6 p.m. Head to the Caribou Room, located at 55 Indian Peaks Drive in Nederland, to see Fox Feather performing live on Friday, April 14th. Doors open and dinner starts at 7 p.m. and the show starts at 8 p.m. Every Thursday at 7 p.m., the Covered Wagon hosts karaoke nights. Be sure to head to 15 East 1st Street in Nederland to check them out for yourself. Head to the Gold Hill General Store and Pub, located at 531 Main Street in Gold Hill, on Friday, April 14th at 7 p.m. for a live performance by Ella Wren, and on Saturday, April 15th at 6 p.m. for a live performance by Kate Farmer. Head to Howlin' Wind Brewing, located at 51A Main Street in Rollinsville, on Saturday, April 15th at 5 p.m. for a live performance by Stonehall, and on Sunday, April 16th at 4 p.m. for an open bluegrass jam. Head to the Jamestown Mercantile, located at 108 Main Street in Jamestown, on Wednesday, April 12th at 5 p.m. for an open mic night, on Thursday, April 13th at 7 p.m. for a live performance by Derek Dame's Old, on Friday, April 14th at 7 p.m. for a live performance by Jamestown, and on Sunday, April 16th at 12 p.m. for a live performance by Lucas Wolf. Every Saturday at 5 p.m., the Brewers Dozen featuring Kings of Prussia and Friends will be performing at Knotted Root Brewing, and every Sunday at 4 p.m., Knotted Root Brewing will be hosting Jazz Sundays with Black Dog and Friends. Be sure to head to 250 North Caribou Street in Nederland to check them out for yourself. Head to 44365 Highway 72 in Ward to check out the Millsite Inn's Open Jam every Saturday at 6 p.m. Head to 121 North Jefferson Street in Nederland, where Ned's Cafe is located, to check out a Dan Jam every Thursday at 10 p.m. and a karaoke night every Sunday at 7 p.m. And finally, be sure to head to the Very Nice Brewing Company, located at 20 East Lakeview Drive, number 112 in Nederland, on Friday, April 14th at 6 p.m. to see Strange Birds performing live, and on Saturday, April 15th at 5 p.m. to see Mad Dog Blues performing live. Did we miss you or your performance? Want to submit your music listing in the Peak to Peak area? Do you have updates to your business or to your performances? Please call 303-810-5409 or email info@themountaineer.com to be included in the next print edition or the next podcast of The Mountain Ear.
Thank you, Jamie. Now let's drop in with special correspondent Marianne Rosen, who tells us a springtime tale about the mighty dandelion.
As we all know, snow can still happen in Colorado until May. However, spring is here and dandelions will soon be emerging. In current times, many consider the dandelion to be a weed, and much of what is written about them is about how to kill them. It was not always this way. Up until the early 1800s, Dandelions were a cultivated plant in Europe used for food, medicine, and wine. And even in this country, people would remove grass but keep dandelions as part of their landscape. In actuality, the dandelion is not a weed, but a member of the same family as the sunflower. If it did not crop up on people's lawns, it would be considered a wildflower. In gardens, it would be considered a salad green. And if we thought of its uses in folk cures, it would be seen as a medicine. So the following is in defense of the amazing dandelion. Dandelions are perennials and awaken anew in the springtime. They are an emblem of rebirth. Dandelions are beautiful. They are bright yellow dots of sunshine to brighten the days. When they turn into their white puffy version and you blow on them, they are wishes made. They are just about the only flower that symbolize several celestial bodies. The yellow flower represents the sun, the white puffball, the moon, and the dispersing seeds, the stars. Oftentimes, the first flower a child gives to their parents with affection are dandelions, and so they are associated with love. These flowers are survivors. They can grow in any environment. Nothing seems to stop them. So they are reminders of our own strength and that life can go on no matter how bad things get. If these abstract reasons are not enough to defend this wonderful plant, then let's talk about more concrete reasons. In some people's quest to rid these pretty flowers from their yards, oftentimes toxic weed killers are used. These toxins find their way into our earth and our water. When beneficial bees and other insects eat the treated plant, they end up being killed as well. And these bees and others eat dandelions because dandelions are sustenance. They are often the bees' first food of spring. They provide nourishment for many insects and butterflies as well. They are also eaten by animals, including grouse, bighorn sheep, deer, and bears. For humans, the dandelion is 100% edible. 1 cup of dandelion greens provide large amounts of nutrients such as vitamin A, K, iron, copper, potassium, calcium, and magnesium. They are also delicious. The yellow flower parts of the plant can be made into a tasty jelly or into wine. The roots have medicinal value. So perhaps we revisit how we all look upon this plant. Let the bees feast. Let us dine on some delicious greens, and let's gaze upon the beauty of this flower with joy. Enjoy.
Okay, folks, it's the Bizarre Cat Bazaar call to action for vendors, artists, musicians, and merrymakers. If you want to be a part of this exciting new event taking place in the heart of Nederland, go to thebizarrecatbazaar.com. That's with both bazaars, a cat in the middle and a .com.
And now for a quick local nonprofit feature of Holistic Homestead down in Blackhawk. Cynthia recently sat down and spoke with director Arwen Eck, who tells us about the homestead sourcing of organic fresh food and produce in Gilpin County and how the Holistic Homestead makes it available to the entire community.
Arwen, can you begin by introducing yourself to our listeners and let them know what the Holistic Homestead is?
I am Arwen Eck. I am the founding director of the Holistic Homestead. We are a 501c3 based in Gilpin County, dedicated to improving health and wellness through education, outreach, and advocacy.
So tell us how you got started in the journey of finding healthy foods for the community.
How we got to where we are now. My background is in homeopathy and herbalism. So I'm a trained homeopath and herbalist and also a first responder. And I had a private practice for a while, and I also did in-home healthcare for a while, all of which I love dearly. And what I discovered was that about 90% of my clients just needed to eat better. They didn't need more herbal supplements. They didn't need another homeopathic remedy. They just needed a better diet. And yet, being up here in the mountains, I can't be telling people to eat better if there's nowhere for them to get good food. So that is really what set the momentum for the Holistic Homestead. First of all, wanting to make holistic health and wellness affordable and accessible to people, and something that people understood. So a lot of people 10 years ago up here, didn't even know what homeopathy was, or herbalism for that matter, or how to use herbal remedies, or why. That's one piece of our education that we do. But then even more fundamental, an overall picture of holistic health and wellness is our diet and the food that we eat. It has been a journey from there to here. In 2020, we opened our market. So we have the Homestead Market here in the heart of Gilpin County. We're open 6 days a week. We carry fresh organic produce that is really the hallmark of what we are bringing to the community.
And what are some of the ways you're able to source locally grown produce?
You probably know Kip Nash, who runs the Nederland Farmers Market. So that's like, I'm asking him like almost weekly now. I'm like, all right, when do we start getting produce? We've been collaborating for a few years now, working together to support local farms to get the local connection going up here. And at the same time, because we are a food hub, the Holistic Homestead is now a food hub for the Peak-to-Peak region, actually. We are able to purchase any locally grown produce and eggs at fair market value, and in turn give that to our membership and those who sign up for our community food share.
How do people get involved?
So we are a membership-based, volunteer-powered nonprofit, and that's really the only way that something as cool as the Holistic Homestead can work in this community. We currently have over 300 households in our membership, and membership is only $25 a year. You get membership benefits like 10% off every time you shop at the Homestead Market. And because we're a nonprofit, we also run a lot of other charitable programs for the community, like our Pay What You Can Cafe, which has recently been generously funded by the United Power Roundup program. So thank you so much to all of the United Power customers who round up your bill a few pennies every month for charity. And it goes to groovy stuff like our Pay What You Can Cafe, where we are feeding the community every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday fresh, hot, delicious, healthy meals. We almost always have a gluten-free vegan option. It's dedicated vegetarian kitchen. We're using all the organic ingredients from our market. And the point is definitely to have, fresh, delicious, hot, healthy meals available and affordable to our community. So the way that works is that if you can make a donation, we have a suggested donation. If you want to pitch in a few extra dollars, you're paying it forward to help pay for someone else's meal. That's kind of how it works. And then we do get people that throw $5 in the jar or $1 in the jar. But the important thing is that they're getting a fresh, healthy meal.
Arwen, do you have any other last words of wisdom for listeners you'd like to share?
Even more fundamental to wellness than food, the food that we eat, is our attitude about food. People, one question I get a lot is people are always like, oh, what kind of diet are you on? You run this nonprofit, you run a health food store, you've got to be super healthy. So not necessarily. In my personal journey, I've come to adopt the gratitude diet, which really just means I'm just so grateful for the abundance of beautiful, healthy, fresh food that I have access to, primarily because the Homestead Market is here right in my own personal neighborhood. But just looking at our culture and how wealthy we are as a nation and as a culture, and how there is no reason for anyone to be hungry. There's an extra abundance of fresh, healthy, delicious food, and I'm just super grateful for every single plate that is on my table that I can share with my family and with my community. That's, to me, that's actually more fundamental than whether you're eating a bowl, like a quinoa bowl or a bowl of ice cream. It's just to be really grateful for what you have.
Thank you, Arwen. It's wonderful to see so many people working together for a healthier community. We'll be sure to include links and more information in our show notes on how people can get involved.
And I say, oh, good morning, oh, good morning, oh, good morning. It's a beautiful day, it's a beautiful day.
That was a piece of Good Morning from the River, Arkansas, who will be playing at the Caribou Room with Fox Feather on April 14th. Now, let's listen in as Dango speaks with Macon Terringer, bassist of the band.
Hey, Macon, so great to have you on. Could you please go ahead and introduce yourself formally for our listening audience?
Hello, everyone. My name is Macon Terry. Actually, I changed my last name. My new name is Terringer. It's a combination of me and my fiance. So my name is Macon Terringer. I'm still trying that out for size.
Wow, that's so cool. So you and your fiance, you literally changed your last name to be a combination of both.
We did. We had a son like 9 months ago, and we gave him the name Terringer. So then I legally had to change my name, and then we're getting married, and she's going to take the name.
So I got to ask, has becoming a father and having a son influenced your musicality and your creative process?
Oh, most definitely. There's a whole new array of songs that are just for him.
Oh, that is so sweet. Well, we could continue to talk about fatherhood and creativity. Yet the reason that we're actually speaking today is because your band, The River Arkansas, is playing at the Caribou Room on April 14th. Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Yeah, The River Arkansas is going to be playing with Fox Feather at the Caribou Room Friday, April 14th. We are super excited about it.
How long has the River Arkansas been a band for?
River Arkansas started recording music in 2015. Yeah, the band actually started in the studio. Mike knew I was in the Springs playing a gig for July 4th with, I was playing with Patrick Detlef at the time. And he knew I was in town and like, hey man, I got some studio time booked tomorrow. Do you want to come in and lay down some tracks for some new songs I got? And I was like, yeah, that sounds great, Mike. And I learned them there, and those are the versions that made it onto our first record. And then we just started gigging. I think we had T-shirts before we actually had the CD. So yeah, we were pushing it right from the get-go.
You mentioned Michael. Michael is the lead songwriter and lead singer of the band. Is that correct?
Yeah, Mike Clark. Exactly. He writes all the tunes and plays guitar, banjo, sings.
Yeah, and these are pretty cool tunes. I've really enjoyed listening and getting to know the catalog. Could you describe your style in a few words?
I guess feel good music. I like that. That makes me feel good, and usually I see that in the audience. But I suppose when I'm trying to book a show for the band, I usually just use Americana roots music.
There's a real sense of togetherness when listening to these tracks. How would you describe the band essence or camaraderie? Feels like there's a real cohesiveness.
Oh, we're really best friends. We're just a really good group of players, I suppose. Like we just play well with each other is what I mean by that. We know each other through and through. I've been playing music with Robin Chestnut, the drummer, since 2002. We've been in various bands the last 20 years. So we have a really good rapport just musically right off the bat, and we're great friends. And yeah, I mean, that's the longest running friendship in the band. But yeah, we've just all known each other for a long time, and we really enjoy each other's company.
Macon, I first met you as the upright bass player in Paper Bird, but it seems like your musical roots go far back in Colorado and that you've been performing in the state for quite some time.
Yeah, we did meet when I was playing Paper Bird. Yeah, I mean, I think that was the first folk band that I really jumped into. I started playing guitar when I was 10. My first real rock and roll show was Soundgarden opening up for Guns N' Roses when I was 11. So that really like kicked it into a whole new level, you know?
So circling back, you're also on the Front Range right now, recording your own music. Maybe some of the stuff you were talking about earlier, inspired by your new son. Can you tell us a little bit more about that as well?
Yeah, I'm up in Longmont right now. I'm about to meet up with a couple friends at a home studio and just work on some of my own tunes. I started recording under the name Mako Tear during the isolation years and kind of made some bedroom recordings on this old tape machine that I've been hauling around since high school, and just released that on Bandcamp over the last 9 months. Since my son was born, I just started putting out singles once a month, and now I just gotta, fill up the tank. I gotta get some material out and get some stuff ready to go again. So, yeah, I'm excited about this.
So are they songs? Are they instrumentals? What's the vibe of the music that you're recording, and what instruments are you playing?
I got like a whole bunch of songs that are just kind of waiting, like two different camps. One that's really shining a light on my son and his existence, and then another one that's kind of more broad appreciation of existence. Brought all my bells and my ocean drum and all my fun noisemakers and stuff, and I brought my banjo and acoustic guitars and electric bass, electric guitar. Yeah, it kind of feels like I'm going on tour, but really I'm just going into a basement with a couple friends, and I don't know, as I was walking my dog this morning, I was thinking, what is this? This is maybe just an exploration of our collective memory. So I think that's what we're going for today.
Wow, that's really beautiful, Macon. Circling back again, what can people expect when they come out to the show on Friday, April 14th with the River Arkansas and Fox Feather?
A good old time. Yeah, we're going to have a blast. We haven't played Nederland since Frozen Dead Guy days, like 5 years ago or something. So, yeah, we're looking forward to getting back up there and seeing what's going on.
Right on. And how can people find out more about the River Arkansas and your own solo music?
The River Arkansas is primarily posting things on Instagram these days. Some things make it on the Facebook. But yeah, there's riverarkansas.bandcamp.com. You can find all of our records there and support us pretty much directly from there. And yeah, and then my stuff is makoterr.bandcamp.com.
Awesome. And Mako Tear, how do you spell that for our listeners?
MACOTERR.
Any parting words to share with our audience?
Oh man, have a great day and be excellent to each other.
Thank you so much, Macon. Good luck in the recording studio, and we look forward to seeing you with the River Arkansas on April 14th at the Caribou Room, along with Fox Feather.
So bury me with my piano. That's the only way that I can lose. Well, I'll be up in heaven singing gospel songs down hill, singing the blues. All right.
That concludes this week's episode of the Mountain Air Podcast, where everybody's listening.
Visit our website at www.themountaineer.com to read more information about today's guests. Pick up a copy of this week's print edition of The Mountaineer at newsstands all across the Peak to Peak. I'm Dango Rose.
And I'm Cynthia Davis. Thank you for listening.
Every day is a better day in Nederland.
And that's it for our show. Subscribe online to get more access to more news, weekly updates to our community calendar, and a link to our YouTube channel by visiting themountaineer.com. Be sure to use the coupon code PODCAST when subscribing for a 10% discount, only available to our listeners. If you are in the local Peak-to-Peak area, be sure to pick up a print edition of The Mountaineer at a local business. I'm Dango Rose. Thank you for listening.